guys, so today I'd like to go over my element collection that I have. So first off, we're going to start off with element number 4, beryllium. Beryllium is an extremely lightweight metal. It's like this silvery gray. It makes this kind of weird sound. I don't know if you can hear it on the microphone, but it's kind of cool. It's a very lightweight metal. I think it's only like 1.9 grams per cubic centimeter. And it is the most rigid metal. It's very, very hard to bend. It shatters more easily than it bends. And for that reason, it's used in high temperature applications, also due to its high or low thermal expansion. That's beryllium, 1 gram. Next up, we have aluminium. This is 4.6 grams of very reflective aluminium. This is extremely pure aluminium. Your normal aluminium foil is going to be 98.5% pure at best. This is 99.995% pure. These are a bunch of little cubes. Like I said, extremely reflective, and it's of element number 13, aluminium. After aluminium comes element 14. This is the highest weight I have in my collection, and it's the most pure. This is 99.99999% pure silicon. It's 100 grams of it. Kind of sounds like maracas whenever you shake it around. Very reflective. It's like this dark gray, blue metalloid. I have to say it's a metalloid, not a metal. Silicon is in a group called the metalloids, which have properties similar to metals and non-metals. Silicon is often used in computer chips for its semiconducting properties. And other than that, it's a pretty mundane element. After silicon, we have phosphorus. I have 2 forms of phosphorus in my collection. The first form is violet phosphorus, which is not going to show up very well. Actually, it kind of shows up pretty well in the light, but this is violet phosphorus. It kind of seems like purple-colored dirt, but violet phosphorus is just that way. This is the most stable form of phosphorus, as far as I know. It's element number 15. You can see it on the lid there. This is 1 gram of it. This wasn't too expensive, but the next form of phosphorus I have was far more expensive, and it is the most expensive thing in my collection. After violet phosphorus, we have black phosphorus inside here. So I'm going to get it out real quick. This is 1 gram of black phosphorus. Black phosphorus is made by heating white phosphorus as well as pressurizing it for a long period of time, essentially the same way that you make artificial diamonds. It forms this black crystalline solid. It's kind of reflective. Black phosphorus is really hard to come by. It's a semiconductor, but it's not used nearly as much as silicon or any other semiconductor, which makes it kind of hard to come by. I'm very happy I have some. So that is black phosphorus. Let's put it back real quick. After black phosphorus, we have the next element on the periodic table, sulfur. This is 10 grams of 99.99% pure sulfur crystals. Sulfur can either come in this powder form, or it can come in these beautiful translucent crystals, which look really nice in the light. They're like lemon yellow. Sulfur is kind of a mundane element. Pure sulfur does not smell bad. I have to say that. It does not smell bad. It only smells bad whenever it mixes with hydrogen or other elements. So the next element, we're going to kind of skip here. I do have some selenium on the way, and that would fill in the next gap, but I'll probably make a separate video about that when it arrives. It's in the mail. But we have silver up next. Silver is a very reflective metal. It's very valuable, valued since the beginning of humankind. Silver can occur in its native form in nature sometimes, but most of the time you get it by mining its ores. Silver is element number 47 on the periodic table, and you can get it in these troy ounce bars from pretty much anywhere. This coin's pretty nice. Very reflective, too. That's silver, element 47. After that, we have another element in the sulfur group, which, fun fact, if you touch it with your bare hands and leave them for long enough without washing them, will make you smell like garlic. So I do not want to open this bottle and play with the stuff in here, but this is tellurium, element 52. It's in the sulfur group, as mentioned. It's related to selenium and polonium, in fact. It's a very dense metalloid. I think it's the second densest one that's known after antimony. It's a very sparkly metalloid. It's about as rare in the Earth's crust as platinum. However, it's far cheaper than platinum because unlike platinum, where you have to set up specific mines to mine it, tellurium just comes as a byproduct of nickel and copper refining. It's pretty nice. This was pretty cheap. This is 10 grams of it. I'm pretty happy with it. It's very sparkly and shiny. So that's 10 grams of tellurium. After tellurium, directly after on the periodic table, element 53 is iodine. This is an ampule containing 5 grams of very small iodine crystals. Normally you get iodine in these like reagent grade pellets, but here I was able to get it in these nice crystals so you can kind of see in there. It's a flat bottom ampule, which means it sits up properly. And it's a pretty nice decoration piece. That is 53 iodine. After iodine, we skip the entirety of the lanthanides because I don't have any in my collection yet, but I do plan on getting some. And we come to hafnium. Hafnium is element 72. It's a very dark steel gray metal. It's in the titanium group, but it's more closely related to its vertical congener, zirconium. Hafnium is a very dense metal. It's a little bit denser than lead. And it's used in nuclear reactors because of its ability to moderate neutrons. It has a very high neutron absorption cross-section, I think is what it is, but correct me if I'm wrong. I am probably wrong. This is element 72 hafnium, and fun fact, this was the second to last non-radioactive element to be discovered in, I think, 1925. After hafnium, we come to tantalum. Now, I'm actually comfortable taking this out of the bottle because it comes in, solid pieces. Let's take this out. This is 12 pieces of tantalum that total up to 10 grams. Each piece of tantalum is this dark gray color that almost shines purplish blue in the light. Tantalum is my favorite metal element out of all of them, just because of its coloration and the fact that it's the only element that has a primordially occurring nuclear isomer, tantalum 180M. Although it is predicted to decay, we have never observed its decay, and it is pretty easy to see that it's quite reflective too. So that is tantalum, element 73. It is in the vanadium group, and it comes after niobium. It comes below niobium on the periodic table. Just gonna put these back in the bottle. Up next, we have a pretty interesting element. It's not a lot of it, so I might actually have to pull up pictures. But it is element 77, iridium. This is a bottle with 100 milligrams of iridium metal. Okay, you can see it on the camera. It's all right. Iridium is a very dense metal, second densest, only behind osmium. Iridium is related to cobalt and rhodium. And it's very expensive. It comes as a byproduct of platinum mining. This little bottle was pretty expensive for what it is. But iridium is a very valuable metal. I think this is chips from a bar because there is writing. If you look at it really closely, like under a microscope, there's writing on each of these pieces. This is element 77, iridium. After iridium, we come to element 80, mercury. This is a bottle that contains 10 grams of mercury. Mercury is the only metal that's a liquid at room temperature, and one of the only two elements that's a liquid in general at room temperature, the other one being bromine, which I also have my eye on for having in my collection in the future. Mercury is extremely heavy as a liquid. I think it's the densest liquid known, and it's pretty fun to shake around. Makes some pretty nice noises too. This is element 80, mercury, 10 grams of it. After mercury, we skip 10 elements, and we come to thorium. Now, I do not have any pure thorium in my collection, unfortunately. It's very expensive. But this is a 13.6 gram thoriated tungsten anode. Thoriated tungsten anodes are used for, I actually don't know the reason, but they're used in xenon arc lamps because I guess they conduct electricity better. This is the anode out of one of those said lamps, and it is, I think, 98% tungsten and 2% thorium. So there are maybe about 250 milligrams of thorium in this anode right here. It's very heavy, very dense, and it's pretty fun to toss around. That is 2% of element 90 thorium. Then we come to the last element in my collection. I have in each of these bottles 1 gram each of uranium. I'm going to get out one of them, and we're just going to look at the ampule real quick with the metal inside. I'll pull up some better pictures on screen right now because this stuff looks really neat if you look it up close. But this is an ampule that contains 1 gram of uranium metal. Oh, that looks nice. It's pretty reflective. Uranium tarnishes to like a bronzish color, but whenever it's pure and natural, it's a dark gray. It'll eventually become black and start to spall and everything, but because it's under argon in here, it doesn't do that, and it just stays like this. This uranium is radioactive and will eventually become lead over billions and billions of years. I do not have to worry about that in my lifetime for sure. So this is 1 gram of uranium, and there's also another gram in here that I don't feel like taking out. That is uranium, and that is also the last element in my element collection. I do have some selenium on the way, but that will be here, I think, tomorrow. I will be making a video about that too. Hope you all enjoyed the video. And most of these elements, besides, I think, the silver, that's it, came from either lucitheria.com or from JD Chemist's website, collecttheperiodictable.com, which I will link in the description. But I hope you all enjoy the video, and have a great day, night, whatever time it is for you.